What's up, Instagram? Does it look like a fake background? It's not. I am in Orlando. And you guys, thank you. 500,000 followers today, right as the Biohacking Conference is about to start. So I am so grateful. Wow, like 500,000 people? Unbelievable. We've reached about 1.6 million people this month so far with a message that matters. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And of course, there's a giveaway for you. Just look at my last post, and there's some good stuff in giveaway, actually. On top of that, there's some really cool stuff happening. Around 8 o'clock tonight, right behind me, this is Florida time, there's going to be a SpaceX rocket launch. I'll live stream that for you too, because why wouldn't I? But mostly, I just wanted to say thanks. And I wanted to say, if you are here in Orlando at the Biohacking Conference, I am so excited to see you here. We've got almost 3,000 people, more than 100 vendors, 150,000 square feet of space. This is the biggest and best biohacking conference since I put on the very first biohacking conference 9 years ago. So everything's happening. And I would love to say thanks, not just with the prizes and contests and all that stuff, just to do a few Q&A things for you. What do you think? Ask me some questions here, and I will answer them for you, even if it's offensive. Am I fine now? I don't know. I think I'm pretty fine. That was like pretty muscular. So thanks, Lucia. Sarah here, who helps me on social media, is like, I can't believe we just did that. You're such a dork. How should hunger feel? Explain satiety and how it occurs before nutrient absorption. That's actually a really cool question, and I wrote about that a lot in Fast This Way. So hunger is a gentle feeling, like, you know what? I could eat. Like, if I don't eat, I'm not going to die, right? And then a craving is, if I don't eat, I'm going to die. And it's one thing if you haven't eaten in 2 weeks, right? And your body's actually starting to break down muscle and organs or whatever, which usually isn't 2 weeks, depending on how thin you are. That's more like 2 months, but whatever. So there's a point where hunger is actually really intense, but it isn't nearly as intense as I ate pizza last night, and today if I don't eat, I'm going to die. That's a craving. All right. Other questions for you. Myself, it's past your bed in England. Good night. Save the video. I will save this video for you. And for all my friends in the UK and all my other friends behind the Iron Curtain, I'll be streaming a few little bits of the Biohacking Conference on my channel here, just to say thanks. And I'm sorry that it was hard to get here from some countries, which sucks. And it's actually not okay. All right. For Everwave, how long is my ding dong? Well, I actually have done 2 podcasts about penis extension. Truly, I have. So I can see your trolling thing, but I see your trolling and I raise you because my ding dong is 1 inch bigger than it was before, but it's really only a 10% improvement. So what the hell? Okay. What else was I going to say? By the way, is that offensive, Tiffany? What do you know about getting rid of MRSA from Kelly Ann? MRSA, flesh-eating bacteria. Ozone cupping, intravenous ozone. It gets rid of it in a way you wouldn't believe. Helen says I look great. Thank you. I like to think it's the lighting. By the way, is it not an awesome day here in Florida? How would I biohack leaky veins? Horse chestnut. Don't believe me? Google it. All right, Marianne, and yes, you fine. Thanks, Marianne. Mick Terzik, am I getting the COVID vaccine or not? Well, I identify as bi-curious. So I have vaccine promiscuous friends. They'll let you stick anything in them with no standards, and that just feels icky to me. And I can't go with that lifestyle. And I have friends who are anti-vax, and they won't let anyone stick anything in them ever. And I'm not really into that kind of a lifestyle where no one ever can stick something in me, even if it might be good for me or just fun. So what's left? Because I'm not on this side, I'm not on that side. Well, I'm bi-curious. And for me to live and to be in touch with my true self, this is what I am. What that means is I'm vaccine industry curious. Each vaccine's different, right? The timing's different. My biology's different. So if I saw good data from trustworthy sources, and I'm doing my best to sort that out, it's entirely possible I would. Right now, I don't think for me, it is the right thing to do. Now, if I couldn't get over a border, it's unethical and evil to force people to do medical procedures against their will. But I could say, you know what? I want to see my kids. I want to see my parents. It's worth it for me. Because here's the God's honest truth right now. Given everything we know so far, you're probably not going to die without the vaccine. You're probably not going to die with the vaccine. God's honest truth. Either way you do it, I'll give you a hug. We can be friends. I'm not going to judge you. Like, it's okay, right? So that's where I am on that front, where forcing people to do things against their will is not okay. And it will never be okay. And the people who try to do that, I know what's going to happen. There are enough people, especially in the US, who will respond with high-speed lead vaccinations. I don't think the government should go there because there are enough people who will protect their biological sovereignty. I'm not calling for this. I do not want this to happen. Don't misinterpret me that way, but seriously, like, don't do that to people because this is a core freedom. And I just know enough people who are that serious about this. So let's not go in that direction. NK, thoughts on fasting for teenage girls? It's great if they don't want to have breakfast, but long fasting or fasting till they're losing weight is a bad idea. So if they're just not hungry, it's okay to not be hungry, right? So I don't make my daughter eat breakfast if she doesn't want to, but if she wants to do 24-hour fast twice a week, no, that's bad for you. Prince of Sweden, why are they pushing vaccines so much? Usually it's for money and power. That's kind of, see my post on the vaccine business model? I almost got canceled over that. The Robert Woods Johnson funded factcheck.org came after me saying that it was inaccurate. They were actually correct. It wasn't accurate. I said they changed the definition in 2004. That was wrong. They changed the definition in 2009. In 2004, they turned on emergency use exemptions. So I had a date off a little bit. But the reality there is, yeah, you can say it's a pandemic if it spreads rapidly, even if a lot of people don't die. The old definition was it has to spread and people die. So anyway, I got targeted for that. Why are they pushing it? Money and power. That's what it usually does. But the pandemic business model post will teach you what you need to know. And guys, if you're just joining, I just hit 500,000 followers today. This is me saying thank you, thank you, thank you. A little Q&A right before the Biohacking conference starts. Almost 3,000 people here in Orlando, Florida, which is right behind me. All right, let's answer a few more questions and check out the giveaway. Go to the last post on my main, what do you call that, main page thing? Page thing. Yeah, that's what you call it. All right, you never get hungry now, Deborah? Me either, it's so cool. Inositol from Martin, what I know about it. Inositol is one of those things a lot of people don't know about. It's related to B vitamins, and you can actually take a lot of inositol, and it works really well for women with PCOS, and really in everyone is kind of a supportive cell membrane nutrient is what I'd call it. Where is New York headed with mandates? Your thoughts? Well, the judge just blocked some mandates, and that was awesome. And guys, I just got to tell you, if your employer tells you you have to do a medical procedure to work for them, the right answer is, are you willing to sign off on all liability from all damage that comes from this? Otherwise, we don't have a contract here, and you make them fire your ass. I promise you, as an entrepreneur who will not force my employees to do any medical procedure, including circumcision or antidepressants that I think they should have. What the hell business of mine is that? It's not okay. So what I will do, though, if I'm in a position to be forced to do that, it's like, guys, sorry, I'm not going to do it. You actually resist. You say the words, I will not comply, right? And then you make sure that all of your accounts are emptied and turned into Bitcoin because they can't seize that. That's literally what you do, right? And they want to take fines, then, well, they fine you. And as an entrepreneur, it could suck and they could try to take your house and they might do it. You don't force people to do things against their will. It is evil. And if you're an employee, you make them fire you because you're going to get paid a lot later. That's how it works. Best thing I've ever eaten from Big Guy. You know, there's nothing better. Actually, two things. Good God. Grass-fed ribeye from a really, really almost semi-wild cow is pretty amazing. I will tell you the pork belly from pigs I raise myself, where they eat food so that they're higher in saturated fat. They're eating all vegetables and things like that. I have made pork belly so good that I cry. I mean, it's a religion. So I got to tell you, properly cooked pork belly with crispy skin, kill it. Disillusioned citizen, you should riot against the vaccine mandates. They're actually doing it in France. It's kind of cool. They really are. And so the deal is just don't do it. Also, if you saw my post, I'm pretty sure that it's going to take the hiring of 10 million police officers to enforce mandates. Do you think there are 10 million people in the country who are willing to put their lives at risk to enforce mandates on people who don't want them? I don't think there are that many people who will take the job, and it's going to take a long time to hire them. So here's the thing. What some people are saying, if you actually think that 80% of people with a vaccine are going to die or something like that. And I actually don't think that's the case right now. But given the data I've seen, I think there might be some stuff we don't know. And I know there are things that haven't been told because that's the playbook from drug companies. But honestly, the longer you have information, especially information from other countries where information reporting is better than it is here, the lower your risk, right? So if you wait 6 months, you're like, you know what, most people are doing all right here. Like the long-term effects aren't there, and long-term effects in Israel, long-term effects in India, long-term effects in places where they do not have our broken medical reporting. The UK's medical reporting is really good. You might go, hey, good thing I was vicarious because, I decided it was worth it, right? And I didn't do it because I wanted to be able to eat. Okay, that's like rebellion time as far as I'm concerned. I mean, personally, I live in Canada. Things are different up there. But I'm just saying I've heard way too many people say, like, they're not going to put up with that. So I think you'll be able to eat, which is a good thing. But what should you do? You should be open-minded. You should say, when is the benefit-risk ratio here for me and my family, given my autoimmunity, given my genetics, and you make your own decision, and that's okay. Roland, what am I predicting during this coming 6 months?